booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. It's Tuesday, so I thought I would do a tag. I'm a little bit behind, so there may be more tags forthcoming. I am here today to do the Jane Austen Heroes tag, which I think is a little bit deceiving because not all of these characters listed here are heroes in Jane Austen. There's also no one from Northanger Abbey. The purist. Anyway, this tag was created by Melissa at Libraries and Labradors, and I was tagged by Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures, excuse me. And if you guys haven't checked out Berna's channel, Berna lives in Turkey, and it's a really fascinating channel, and she does a lot of fun stuff on it. So I really encourage you to check out her channel, and thank you, Berna, for tagging me in this. So question number 1, Mr. Darcy, pick a book you thought you wouldn't like and ended up loving. So keep in mind again that my home library, my personal library of books, is not just my library, but it's also my husband's library. My husband and I have known each other for 23 years almost now, and over that time we've definitely shared a lot of books with each other and said, I really think that you would like this. Like, this is really good. And one of those books was Love Medicine by Louise Erdrich. Now, I had read Tracks by Louise Erdrich. I got rid of the copy and now I have it again, which I'm glad. I'm so excited. But Love Medicine is, I think, it's just a phenomenal book. But I was a little hesitant because Tracks, I think when I read Tracks, I think it was just maybe beyond my critical reading reach at the moment. But I loved Love Medicine so much, and I hope that it won't be too long before I get an opportunity to reread this, because it's such a great book. I can't believe it didn't win the Pulitzer, but I am glad that Louise Erdrich finally is a Pulitzer winner. So anyway, yeah, I was really hesitant to dip into the books of Louise Erdrich after reading Tracks, but I'm so glad that I did. All right, number 2, Mr. Collins, pick a book you said nope to or you DNF'd. So I don't DNF very many books. I was actually watching another video recently that is related to Julia Child, because there's a new documentary about Julia Child out right now. I can't remember who the author's name is, but the book Julie and Julia, I just didn't like it. I love My Life in France by Julia Child, but this other book where the author decides to make everything in Julia Child's, epic cookbook about French cooking. Yeah, I don't know why, but I couldn't get into it and I DNF'd it. Ironically, another book I DNF'd is the Jane Austen Book Club. A long time ago. The movie is a household favorite, so I do watch the movie on a regular basis, but the book, I started to read it and I just didn't care for it. So question 3, Mr. Wickham, pick a book with a misleading cover. Okay, so again, it's not my library, it's our library, and so this is our copy of Jane Eyre. Now, this is a Broadview literary edition, and it was Jason's copy. I'm not saying it's totally wrong, but there's so many other covers out there that I probably would appreciate more. As it is, though, I do love Jane Eyre. I think this is a fantastic book, but yeah, the cover, it's like, couldn't we have something a little more, I don't know, romantic or something? Yeah, so it's just like, well, I guess that's the cover we have. All right. Question number 4, Mr. Knightley, pick a childhood favorite that has stuck with you through thick and thin. Okay, so I'm stretching a little bit because I haven't read this book since I was a kid, but I've held on to it. And this is Kristen Learns a Lesson, a school story. Now, this is part of the Pleasant Company's, now it's an empire of American Girl dolls, clothes, accessories, books. But when I was growing up, we would get the catalog, and at that time, I don't know if you can see on the back of this book, there were only 3 American girls. There was Kristen, a pioneer girl of the strength and spirit, who settles on the frontier, Samantha, who is a Victorian, and Molly, who schemes and dreams on the home front during World War II. So those were the only 3 American girls when I was growing up, and I wanted American Girl dolls so bad, you guys, you have no idea. Of course, I also wanted all the wonderful accessories that went with it, but the one thing I got was one of the books, so it's just like my only connection to American Girl. And I was insanely jealous when my nieces were younger. They had multiple American Girl dolls, and I was very jealous for around half a second, and then I was just happy that they hadn't had the experience. We would get the catalog, and I would just devour the catalog every time it came, but that was all I got. So anyway, you can imagine why I held on to it. Question 5, Edward Ferrars. Pick a book that keeps coming back to your mind that you can't stop thinking about. So speaking of dreamy, swoony men, here's my copy of Hamlet with Benedict Cumberbatch on the cover, who, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know, I have a little crush. I have a little crush on him. But Hamlet, I read, oh my gosh, for the first time, like 2-3 years ago, and it just blew me away. And I think I read it the next year after that, and yeah, so Hamlet is one of those things. There's a part of me that wants to read it every single year, but it's still there's so much Shakespeare that I haven't read that I feel like I should read that, but this one, yeah, this keeps calling back to me, and not just this cover, because of course we own multiple editions of Hamlet. All right, question 6, Willoughby. Ooh. Pick a book that sounded so good but ended up disappointing you. And I'm really glad I'm doing this now, because I am taking this book along with a box of other books to donate to the library, because I was so heartbroken by this book, which is The Power of One by Bryce Courtney. I've wanted to read this book forever. I can't believe how many times I have moved with this book, and I finally read it, and I loved it until the very end, and the ending ruined the whole thing for me. It was not the book that I was expecting it to be, because I've seen the movie, and of course the movie is radically different. But I was just crushed. I was so crushed by this book. So, yeah, it really, it broke my heart, just like Willoughby breaks Marianne's heart. So could have been amazing. I don't know what he was thinking at the end, the author there, but all right. Question 7, Captain Wentworth. Rupert Henry Jones. I have not seen the new Persuasion, by the way. Don't worry, I will eventually. That'll be a video at some point. Let's see. Captain Wentworth. Pick an underrated book that deserves more love. Okay, and I'm being biased here because this might even be considered regional literature rather than, you know, mainstream. But The Meadow by James Galvin, this is just such an incredible read. And I think this is maybe his only novel, which is so sad to me. The writing is glorious. This takes place in on the Wyoming-Colorado border, and it's a real place. And a lot of these people are people that are based on people that James Galvin knew, and I. You know, when I think about books about Wyoming, obviously, you know, it's over here on the shelf. Annie Proulx's Close Range is probably maybe one of the most famous books about Wyoming. I always get excited when people are reading Owen Wister's The Virginian, but this is a great representation of the people who live here and the people who live in especially the smaller areas, smaller communities. And yeah, I love it. And I haven't talked about it on this channel for quite a while. So it definitely deserves more love. Now, I'm going to go a little rogue here because I can't understand why Colonel Brandon isn't included in this. So I'm adding a prompt. Colonel Brandon, pick a book that gets better with age. So I am gonna pick Angle of Repose by Wallace Stegner. I'm not gonna go into the whole controversy with Wallace Stegner right now. We won't go down that path, but this is a book I read either right after I got married or right before. So I hadn't been married very long when I first read Angle of Repose. And then I read it, maybe 5-6 years into our marriage. I reread it. This is the only Pulitzer that I reread when I was doing my Pulitzer project, to read all the books that have won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. And I like reading it again after having been married for a little while was a totally different experience. It was so great. And I can't wait to read it again because I know that it's going to be a different reading experience. But I do think that this is one that if you're married or you have a long-term relationship, reading it at different stages in your partnership, it's a different, you see things differently in it. So, okay, you guys, I have no idea. I feel like a lot of people have done this tag. I think I will tag Gina at Gina Stanier Books, because I don't know that I've seen this on her channel. So I'm going to tag Gina, but if you haven't done this tag and you want to do this before Jane Austen July is over, then please, by all means, feel free. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Feel free to connect with me on Goodreads or Instagram down below. And I would love to hear your comments. You can tell me if you don't have a channel, you can answer these questions in the comment section down below. You can tell me what you think of the books that I've chosen. Should I have added an extra question? I don't know. But anyway, so I look forward to hearing what you guys think, and yeah, just enjoying this last week of Jane Austen July. All right, BookTube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.